All right, welcome back. We're going to continue working on the 78 Honda Hobbit. What we want to do today is clean the carburetor, see if we can get it running on its own power. These can be a big pain in the ass to do for anyone that's ever done it before. There's many different ways to do it. I'm going to show you how I do it. Let's dig in. All right, here she is. So what we're going to do is, first step is to loosen up this main bolt here that goes through the frame across into the motor mounts. Then you have to take out the throttle cable, which already is not connected, which was a problem last time. I had to throttle it up with my hand. So we had to take apart the throttle cable, take apart the decomp, which is on the head over here. And there's a few wires we have to disconnect, and once that's done, we actually can lift up the frame from the motor and swing it over and prop it up on a bucket or something. I'll show you what I mean. All right, step one. Gonna disconnect that decomp. Push that down, pop off that cable. There you go. Next, you want to unplug your spark plug boot. Take that off. And then your throttle cable goes under here and goes into here. Take that off. That's already off. So we don't have to worry about that. Next, we're gonna loosen up this 17 millimeter. Gonna want to hold it over on this side. Get that out. Next, once you get that nut loose and take it off, you're gonna want to tap out that bolt. There you go. What I always do is I get one of these little magnetic trays, put everything in there so you won't lose it. Now that you've pulled the bolt out, kind of take a quick look, see if you see any other wires that are going to be hanging up. If not, you're all set. If you see some, disconnect them, so you'll be good. Like I said before, now you can literally lift the front of the bike up. I'm going to use a bucket prop underneath it here to hold the front end up. Kind of just take a look, turn it whichever way you can to get access now to the carburetor. Here's the carburetor. Now you should be able to take that off. Now with the bike propped up, you should be able to look down here and see the carburetor. As you can see, it's held on by 4 Phillips head screws. Some of the later models had 4 10 millimeter nuts. So next, take that off, loosen those 4 bolts, and you should be all set to take off the carburetor and intake all in one shot. Another quick little tip: if you're going to be working on Japanese mopeds or motorcycles, go down to your local hardware store or online and order yourself a pair of JIS screwdrivers. A set of these will come a long way. Even though it does look like a Phillips head, it's actually a JIS, which stands for Japanese Industry Standards. And if you use a regular screwdriver, they are very easy to strip out. All right, we've got the carburetor off. Those bolts gave me some trouble. Take your time, try not to strip them out. Also inside here is your reed block. You're going to want to take that out, inspect it, make sure nothing's stuck inside of there. All right, now we've got our carburetor here. Do a visual inspection on it from the outside. First things I like to do is to take the bowl off. It is held on by 2 screws. Yet again, using your JIS screwdrivers, take those off so you don't strip them. You can tell someone has already been in here because they are a little stripped. So we're going to remove those and inspect the bowl first. Already I can see that there is some water in there, which is a classic thing from sitting for so long. Next is your main jet right here. This is where your gas comes in. That's your needle and seat. Here's your float. And just basically take everything apart to the best of your ability and clean it all out. There's a lot of videos on how to clean carburetors. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to bore you with how to do that. Just kind of spray carb cleaner through every hole that you can see. Watch your eyes, because when you get it in there, oh, you'll know it. Not fun. So just do that, and I'll come back after that. All right, I've removed the main jet, pulled out the needle and seat here, taken off the float after pulling out this needle. Remove all these screws and stuff you can take out. There's the idle screw and the mixture screw. Take all those out, spray carburetor cleaner through them. Try to get If you see any junk, try to get it out of there. You take your main jet out. It goes in right here. You take it out. It's going to be a little tiny hole. I know you're not going to be able to see it. Oh, actually you can. Make sure that is clean. That is what sprays your gas. And if that's plugged up, no bueno. You don't go anywhere. Once everything is put back together, another thing you always want to do, because this carb is so hard to get in and out, is always put a clean piece of fuel line on the inlet and blow through it. You can feel air and you can hear air going into it. Now, when you flip that over, the air should shut off. That means your needle and seat are working correctly and fuel will flow into the carburetor. There's been many times I forgot to do that, put it back in the bike, and you've installed something wrong, and gas can't get to the carburetor to even attempt to start the moped. So, that's a big womp. You don't want to do that. Now that the carburetor is all reassembled, I always put the mixture screw back to about a turn and a half out. That should be fine, at least to run it, and then you can tune it from there. Now it's ready to reassemble. This is a little tweaked. Fix that, put it back in the bike, and let's see if it starts. All right, we are back over at the moped. Carb is clean. Reed block is clean. I'm going to put it all back together. Put it in reverse the same way you took it out. It might be a pain to get it past all the wires and stuff. Put it in, put the 4 bolts back in, and tighten it up. Then you got to put the main bolt back in. Once you lower it back down and snug everything up in reverse. And then we're ready to see if it will start and run on its own. Okay, the carburetor has been reinstalled. Next issue is the throttle cable is completely out. So when we twist this throttle, it should just move freely. As you can see, that is completely locked up. So we're going to need to take apart the throttle assembly here and figure out why and see if we can save that cable. Okay, I have taken the assembly apart. I've gotten the cable out. It is very locked up. What I'm going to do is spray a bunch of lube in it and grab it with some vice grips and try to work it back and forth. See if we can free it up. Wish me luck. All right, that really fought me, but throttle now works. It's all hooked up. Everything is bolted back down there together, and I'm going to go get an external tank, put it on there, and see if we can get it to start. All right, let's see if we'll start. Put the choke on, make sure it's on the run. Started. She's cold. Quite the backfire. Woo! Backfire. Well, I don't know what that's about. Choke on. Running. She's idling. Obviously got some work to do for tuning and stuff, and the whole rest of the bike to build, but it's alive. Okay, boom. Just like that, a little work, it's back up and running. The float seems to be sticking, like the good amount of gas. But that will all come with time. So it warms up a little bit, I'll actually be able to see if I can take it for a ride. But there you go. Carb clean, new spark plug. Sounds really healthy. Judging by what the crank looked like inside, I actually would believe that it really does only have 239 miles on it. All right. Well, another successful day of tinkering. Just like last time, there's still a lot more that needs to be done on this. But it does run, and sounds really nice. Got to mess with the carb a little bit more, try to stop that float from leaking. But progress has been made again. So we'll continue on. We got to figure out a tank for it. And I'm already thinking probably that seat will go on it. Fit nice. I'll mock that up. But I think it will be a good bike. We've got a selection of headlights that we can put on it. Probably replace the front tire. The back one seems okay. I do have the side covers for it. So we'll keep moving forward and see how it turns out. All right. Thanks a lot for watching again. Had a good time getting it back up and running. And the fun part comes now of actually like making it into something. Kind of use your imagination of what you want it to look like. Ideally, I love putting things back to stock, but I don't really feel like finding a tank and finding a headlight and stuff. So we'll see. Until next time. Bye.